I got the spark right now. Let's get to it. Hey, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am Chemika Nicely and I write African futurism, which is a combination of African fantasy, science fiction, mysticism, and my favorite, spirituality. So I've been on this self-publishing journey for a while now, well over 5 years, and this video comes at just the perfect time as recently I announced that I'm rebranding my first novel, which is the one that allowed me to enter into the industry at the young age of 19 years old. So there were many things that I wish I had done differently. And so I bring you guys this video to help you start your self-publishing journey in the best way possible. So today I'm going to be giving you guys 3 of the most valuable things you can do to kickstart your journey and have the success you desire to have with publishing your first novel. Before I get into my 3 things, there is one thing that is imperative that everyone must do, and that is to have a mindset shift. There's traditional publishing and then there's self-publishing. Traditional publishing entails you submitting to the publisher, them giving you a contract if they decide that your book is marketable, and then they, in terms of their publishing house, where they have like editors, cover designers, formatters, typesetters, and marketers who will help to bring your book to life. But with self-publishing now, you are essentially the publisher. You are the one that takes care of the behind the scenes, what goes into pre-publishing as well as what goes into post-publishing. So you have to make sure you have every step of the way taken care of, so then you have the best product to give to readers. And that means either you do the work yourself or you outsource it. For example, there's editing, there's cover design, there's formatting, and then there's also marketing. You can either develop the skills to help you know how best to market, or you can outsource it to people that are reputable and have the skill set that is needed for you to self-publish your work and let it be received in the best light possible. This mindset shift also means you have to grow with the process. When I first started, there was a lot that went into it, and I know how to use the internet, so I was searching like crazy. I was also noting down certain things. There's a lot of creators and self-published authors in this industry that do make content and stuff, so I was following them. But at the same time, it's like, it's so much information that eventually you just get bogged down by it and you don't know what to do first. So I ended up just trying my own way and just taking that risk, which also meant there was a lot of mistakes that came with it, but I also loved that that happened. So now I could learn from it. And this time around, self-publish the way that I want to, with the bar set at its optimum. So my first tip would be create your audience. We are in a very pivotal and expansive time where we have social media. We also have AI. When I first started, that was not around, so I had to literally just do all the research myself, scope the internet, and then try and figure out how to navigate this whole world. But now we have AI. ChatGPT especially is my personal assistant and helps me with creating content, also my own unique way. So it's not like I'm just going on there and asking ChatGPT to give me a list of content to create, but I'm tailoring it to my needs. Since I'm at African Futurism, this is not something that is prominent out there, so it's a lot harder to try and find other people that are doing it. I feel like I'm doing it all on my own and I'm having to just work my way through. There are other writers, especially like the ones who are prominent in this space, but they're abroad, innit? So because my niche is so particular, it's like ChatGPT helps me to just refine and give me certain ideas that would help me see things a lot differently. So initially, what I would have done differently when I first started was to go forth with creating my community first, because if you have a community first, then there will be more anticipation for when you launch your novel. But instead, since I did it a little bit back to front, where I launched and then I was developing my community, where I was going out and going to events to like essentially promote myself and just show the world that I have something that I've created from mind to now this physical product. I know TikTok is a space that is booming for authors. It's also very quick. You can do carousels, you can do just short clips or videos to just help people see you more as the author and become personable. I particularly am not so much on the platform. I did start for a bit, but I don't gravitate to it the same way I do YouTube or Instagram. With that being said, I'd suggest to find the social media that works for you, but don't try and spread yourself too thin. At least try to develop some kind of authority on one platform first. But above this, because the algorithms are always changing and it's like you don't own the apps or the platform, it's always better to have a website so then you can drive traffic to it. People that are becoming more aware of you as an author and someone who's about to drop their first novel or the second one, so on and so forth. They can find you on your website. They can subscribe to your mailing list. Your mailing list is the best thing that author will ever need because it's direct to your readers. People will see it. Whereas with social media, since the algorithm is always changing and there's a lot of things going on there that restricts you, people might not always see your posts. Even for me right now, I'm still trying to develop my mailing list. I didn't do this initially, which is what I should have done, because then it would have been a whole lot easier for me to curate my community since it is so distinct. But as always, it is better to have 500 people on your mailing list who are active than to have 5,000 people on social media that might see your content every now and again and won't be so active in supporting you, buying your novels and being a part of your journey and your community. However, what I will say is on social media, especially like Meta, FB and Instagram, there are communities already on there that will help you in your genre. So if you write fantasy or sci-fi or, urban fiction, there will be communities already there that can help you just see how you can create content. You can mimic them in some form and then apply your own twist by asking ChatGPT to help you refine certain things and maintain your voice and your branding. That's another thing. In 2025, I've been seeing a lot of content around personal branding. With self-publishing and it utilizes social media, you can really just create your own world. You're not dependent on a publisher to do everything for you, but you're the one who is spearheading this whole journey that you're about to embark on. And that can be the best thing actually, because now you're being a creator. You don't have to answer to no one else. You have the authority and you have the ownership over what it is that you're creating. What I will say though is it is a trial and error type thing. You're going to have to keep on implementing certain things or different styles just to help you understand what you are looking for as well as what you can expect from your ideal reader. You're not going to be so bogged out in one strategy. You have to learn to adapt and be flexible. I feel like that's the best thing, to just implement trial and error, see what works, see what doesn't, and to continually go with that flow. That's how you will better master your persona on social media, the kind of author that you're trying to be, and the community that you're trying to attract to you. I feel like that's the best way, is to try in public. That is something that I do struggle with. I have struggled with a lot in the past. But yeah, it's just to keep going. Just try new things, explore. Even if you do make mistakes, trust and believe those mistakes are becoming platforms on your path and you can step on them and even go even higher. My second thing I would do if I was just getting started in self-publishing is to publish smarter, not faster. So I know with traditional publishing, people are always submitting in the hopes that they'll get a publishing deal and that will skyrocket their career. They will gain the reputation that they've always dreamed of because they've applied a lot of blood, sweat and tears into their projects and they just want to feel recognized for the efforts that they've applied to their work. But they do have to go through a very long and drawn out process. And for me, when I was 18, 19, I was like, I don't really want to go down that path, I know it's enticing and you get book royalties, you get this massive publishing house if they've chosen to do a contract with you to completely back you and give you that extra push into the literature world, maybe become New York Times bestseller or any other bestseller. That is like the dream for every writer, author. But for me, I was like, I just want to start. And in starting, it was like taking a massive risk. It's a thing where I was young and I just wanted to take a leap of faith on myself and what I could do. I didn't want to have like this middleman or something in between that would just slow down my progress. And to put it even more plainer, I just wanted to get things done. I'm an Aries, so I was just like, I got the spark right now, let's get to it. What I mean by publishing smarter is to see the whole process from start to finish, plan, know how you are going to publish, whether it's through KDP, Ingram Spark, especially in like digital formats, or to utilize your website and direct sell, maybe sell on Amazon and other platforms. Also looking into how you would distribute and if you would buy your own copies outside of Amazon and so on and so forth. Marketing especially, how you are going to frame your book in an enticing way that readers will gravitate to, rather than to be like, I don't know if that is for me, but to just be compelling and understand that you're not just a writer when you're self-publishing. You have to wear multiple hats and be an authorpreneur. One of the key people that I do follow is Joanna Penn. She has her own podcast. She's an author and she's in the self-publishing industry, helping others just to like this. This is a book from her and it's just how to get started with being an author in the self-publishing industry. It's very simplistic, so it's easy to follow. Yeah, just know the stages so then you can check them off. Once you can check them off, then you can know that you're progressing in the right direction. My biggest mistake was, although I knew the process, there were certain things that I was taking out because I didn't have the funds to totally support me on the journey. To put it plain again, I was cutting corners. I had limited skills in editing, but I thought that was enough, as well as to like outsource the editing to Fiverr. But there's people on there who will take your money, but they won't do the work to the standard that it needs to be done. That was a learning curve for me. And so yeah, to just always maximize quality over quantity, even if that means you have to push your publishing schedule a bit further down the line just to make sure that the quality is done correctly, then do so. Because what you don't want to be doing now is, although you have the ability to continually go over your manuscript or your book, edit certain things, you don't want to be wasting time and energy on products that you've done before, when really and truly you want to be progressing forward and to be releasing more and more novels that will just keep you developing. Whereas for me, I was stuck on my first novel and that really just bogged me down because I'm just like, I didn't get the quality done the way that it needed to be. And that's another thing. A lot of people criticize self-publishing because they always say there's quality issues. There's a lot of grammar mistakes, punctuations, and just errors that just make the reading experience nasty work. It just makes it such a turn off that they would much rather just avoid people that self-publish. So now we have the great opportunity to not only publish on our own terms, but to make sure that everything is done in a very delicate manner, quality over quantity. And to top that off, make sure that you're sharpening the skills that are necessary for the pre-production, the packaging of your novel. So for example, for me, I now offer freelancing services in editing. Editing is a whole process. You've got developmental editing, you've got structural, which is kind of the same thing. You've got copy editing, and then you've got the last stage, which is proofreading. I do copy editing and proofreading, but when I first started, I didn't really do the whole developmental editing side of it because I did do more of an outline And then I was continually revising my manuscript even before I had finished the manuscript. So I thought there was no need to go and spend this wally per money on editing, developmental editing. So I just kind of went straight to proofreading. But what I've learned over the years is we actually need copy editing. And that's still something that I'm learning the more that I'm getting into it and I'm freelancing those skills. But it's very vital that we at least have copy editing and proofreading. Proofreading is the last stage which avoids all of the grammatical errors and just make sure that your manuscript is as tidy as possible. There may be like 1 or 2 errors, but that is far better than having 10 errors in 1 page. Nasty work. There is Canva. A lot of people have been using Canva to design their book covers, but trust me, as the cover is the first thing that people see, you want to make sure that that is at the best quality that it can be at. And what you don't want to do is, if you aren't totally familiar with how to do the composition with the title and the cover art and all those things, I'd suggest leave it up to a professional designer for them to do it properly. For example, this is my one. I had this one designed by an American cover designer. I was not about to play around with the cover. So yeah, always try to outsource these skills. The cover design, the formatting, the editing, and it's also just better peace of mind. You want to make sure that a lot of your energy is going into just creating the novel, doing the writing, the thing that excites you the most. And then using ChatGPT to help you with your marketing plan and your publishing schedule, so everything can be seamless and you're not wasting so much time and energy on menial things that are just gonna probably defeat you before you've even reached the pinnacle, which is what you want to be at when you publish and it's all excitement and people can finally dive into your world. There are a lot of resources on Pinterest, so if you want to dive deeper into the metadata and the marketing and just the whole self-publishing world and things that go into it, I'd suggest using Pinterest. There's a lot of pins on there that can help you with particular things that you're unsure about. Lastly, to build off of the first 2 things that I've mentioned, I would create multiple income streams. So we all know about the different editions for your novel. You've got ebook, you've got paperback, you've got hardback, and you've got e-covers. Utilize all of those along with develop skills in editing, formatting especially. That's something that I've started to do a lot more. I utilize Vellum to help me create my novels. For the first time actually, I'm about to create, for this rebrand, I'm about to create the inside and images and hidden styles and stuff like that, just to make it more enticing, give it that extra added effect of African futurism. So develop skills in editing, formatting, and if you have like maybe a graphic designer's background or you are interested in cover designs, then you can learn cover design. I do utilize Canva for my social media content. I'm starting to do a bit more with my mailing list and YouTube. Oh, and Pinterest as well. So just develop certain skills that will just help make your self-publishing journey a lot more easier, and you can gain more money from it as well. You want to make sure that you have an ecosystem. For me, this is what I'm doing a lot more, especially for 2025 going onwards. I want to have an ecosystem where everything funnels through, like my social media, which will be YouTube primarily, a bit of Instagram, my mailing list, and things more offline that I own and I control. Because African futurism isn't something that is recognized the same way fantasy or sci-fi or historical fiction is. You're not going to go on Amazon and see that as a category. It is coined by Nelly Okorafor, but I have my own twist on it, so I'm really just in my own niche. So I feel like it's better to have my own ecosystem, so then when you see me, you know I have authority in African futurism in the way that I wish to express it in this world. On top of that, I'm creating an experience. It's not just going to be a novel. What I want to do is have that novel be transformed in as many formats as possible. Adaptations into movies and TV shows, events where you'd have like characters being cosplayed, anything that you can see being possible in this world. Because I've always had an imagination that is very vivid, and it took me some time to just learn the art of writing. I'm still trying to master that, but writing is completely different to video images, what I see in my mind. So I'm trying to like bridge all of that and make sure that you can see this everywhere, wherever you go. What I did mention earlier on was personal branding. So that really just supports my desires to develop an ecosystem. And you can do this too. Your personal branding will be very specific to your why and who you are showing up as on social media, who you want to be remembered as. And it just helps out with connecting with other people. You have your own thing going on. You don't need to wait on anybody else. It does take a lot of drive, energy, motivation, discipline especially. But once you've got the hand of it, trust me, people will come to you rather than you having to go to other people. And that's what I'm trying to be on. Come to me. Think big. They always say think big. Make sure your vision scares you, that it is so expansive that it will take time to get to. Make smaller steps to a much broader vision. Just be expansive about it. This is your journey when you're self-publishing. You can make it whatever you want it to be. Be the creator, be the one that is innovating and expressing something unique in this world. You did not come here for no reason. And now that you've chosen, or you are choosing, you're deciding to choose self-publishing, make it what you want to make it. And above all, be sustainable. So to consolidate everything, if I was to start my self-publishing journey again, I would own my audience, develop my own community and platform. 2, publish smarter, not faster. And 3, create multiple streams of income. Expand on a business model. Don't just think of it as one novel that I want to push out into the world because maybe traditional publishing wasn't for me, but to see how you can make everything blossom from one seed. See the different connections that you can build and just put out there for then other people to now attract to you, connect with you, and yeah, just create your own world. So if you found this video very helpful, do give it a like, comment down below things you may still need help with self-publishing, subscribe, and thank you guys for watching.